Hi, it's Pat Gillis here. And one of the things I was thinking about a lot is how horses are so in the moment, right? Like there's so many examples of it, but most recently would be Dex that he'd have a choking episode, and then if he can resolve it, like he's had a few minor ones, nothing major, but some minor ones lately. But as soon as it's resolved, he's right away looking for, could I have that food you were just offering me a minute ago? Because I would like to have that. It's like immediately he's not thinking, oh, close call. He's just going, okay, I'm good now, so let me eat that thing that you have there. And it's fascinating, really. The horses are like that. Like you'll watch them out in the field, and they have, they'll be playing with their friends, or grazing, or doing whatever horses do in the sun, and they're just really present and really enjoying that moment. They're not fretting. They're not sitting there thinking, gosh, okay, I really would love to, graze here and enjoy this, but what if a lion came, or what if a pack of wolves came around the corner and attacked me or something? They're not thinking like that. I mean, some of the more neurotic ones maybe do a little bit, but generally speaking, horses are pretty mellow, and they're really present when they're in, they're out eating or grazing or doing whatever they're doing. They're very involved in that thing, and I think we could learn a lot from that. It's not like, we shouldn't have, plan for the future or have contingency plans or things like that. But I know I'm really guilty of this. Like if I have decisions to make, especially kind of emotional decisions to make, I can get like really circular in my thinking, to the point where I'm just on this wheel of kind of going, well, if I do this, but then what about that? But then what about this? But then what about that? And I come all the way back to exactly the same place again. And it's so pointless. And yet I can get myself into that. And I remember reading somewhere, and I wish I remember where I read this so I could give them credit, but they were suggesting that, if you're in a worrying sort of phase of your life, or if you're of that type all the time, then what you should try to do is just say, okay, I'm going to give myself 20 minutes. I'm going to set a timer and I'm going to worry to my heart's content for the next 20 minutes. I'm just going to worry. Whatever I want to do, I'm going to worry about everything I can think of for that 20 minutes. But when the timer goes off, I'm done. I have to put aside the worrying. And, it's kind of a goofy thing to say, but it does make you realize that the fruitlessness and the waste of time of just worrying about things. Again, different than planning and having contingency plans and all that kind of thing. That's not what I'm talking about. It's that mindless kind of worrying that we can do, that's really, really unproductive. So one of my goals for 2022 is to sort of get off that hamster wheel of worry all the time, and to try to, because what worrying like that does is it prevents us from having the human equivalent of what the horses do in the field, of enjoying that time just grazing or enjoying our friends or whatever. And it's not always easy to stop worrying, but we have great role models with the horses in our lives. So that's what I'm going to work on this year. So I hope you're having a wonderful week. Remember to thank your horse, and we'll talk to you soon. Say goodnight, Dex.